Hello guys, TAFHD here and welcome back to another video, and today we'll be unboxing and taking a look at what I've bought off eBay, and it is inside this box. Now I've bought a LaCie Biggest FW800, I believe it's a 2007 model. I bought it used on eBay for £36 and it's come with no drives. I'll buy some at a later date, but today we're just going to see if this thing works and if I've got what I ordered. Now, I don't really have a use in mind for this. There's a couple of things I could do, like maybe a backup of everything, but it can only support up to 2 terabytes of storage. It can do RAID 5, RAID 0, lots of different RAID types. It's got 4 drive bays, but it can only support up to a maximum of 2 terabytes, and back in the day in 2007 that would have been quite a lot of storage. But anyway, let's stop talking and take a look at what's inside. This is a nice repurposed box here, quite nice, and I can see the unit in there, and this packaging actually is not very good. As you can see, there's no protection on the top. The LaCie is basically going right to the top of the box. There's a bit of bubble wrap at each side. I don't think there's any at the bottom or on this side, so if anything has hit this it might be a bit damaged, but oh well, let's just take a look and hopefully it will be fine. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take out the bubble wrap. There's a little bit on the front and the back of the unit, and down the back we have an extra drive bay, and it's actually got a drive in it. This is a Seagate 250GB drive. This appears to be one of the original drives that came with it. It says manufactured by Seagate for OEM, so I guess this was one of the original drives that was in this unit. It was not mentioned that this would be coming with it, so that's kind of a nice surprise, but that noise, I'm not sure if you can hear that, does not sound good. That hard drive sounds like something is broken inside. Hopefully you can hear that, but this drive maybe does not work, and maybe that's why it was not mentioned in the listing. I guess we will see in a moment. So now let's take the actual unit out, and this box was very, very heavy, and yet this unit is very, very heavy indeed. I'll move the box out of the way and then I can put the unit on here, but that is very, very heavy. I do quite like the way this looks. It's quite an industrial looking design. That's the main reason why I bought it. It was cheap and I thought it looked good, so I bought it, and so far this looks to be pretty nice. The condition isn't the best, but considering how old this is, I'm not actually too bothered about that. So let's have a look at the front of the unit first. So we've got a display here. This is backlit blue. I guess this tells us information like if there's a problem with a drive and if the RAID is rebuilding. That's a menu button there, and then an enter button just there. And then we've got our 4 drive bays, and I guess that's for cooling down there. So let's open these up, and these can also be locked as well. So let's take each one of these out, and that is very dirty. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I do not understand why people do not clean things before selling them, but let's see if that will focus. That is all dust in there, and it looks like the rest will be the same as that as well. So let's just take the others out as well. Yep, that's fairly grim. Third one, just as bad. I can tell that this unit has definitely had quite a lot of good use. And the final one, this looks to be the worst one. It's kind of a yellowy, clumpy sort of dust thing that is not nice, and we can now see into the unit, and it's a bit dusty in there, but that's not actually too bad. Let's see if this bay will slide in. Let's just try and put it in the top. Very, very stiff handle that, but it's gone in just fine. So we do have an extra bay for if one snaps, which it feels like they might with the amount of force you've got to use with this. But now I've taken that out, let's turn the unit around and take a look at the back. And on the sides we've got the LaCie logo just there, which is nice. And on the back, this is where this item is really starting to show its age. So we've got USB 2, two Firewire 800s, we've got a serial, then here is where we can change our RAID mode. So right now it looks to be set to RAID 5, but we can move these switches if we want and change the RAID mode. Our fan is in there, then at the bottom we've got the power supply. It just takes a standard IEC cable, and there's a power switch there as well. There's a fan for the power supply too, so this might be quite noisy, I'm not too sure, but I might be able to change that fan out depending on whether it's a standard connector or not. But that fan is very, very dirty. Just brought the camera closer and look in that fan, that is very, very, very dusty and all stuck on. It's kind of yellowy just like on the front, and I guess the power supply fan is also the same. Yeah, I really don't understand why people don't clean things before they sell them, but oh well, let's see if this thing works before I clean it, because there's no real point doing any sort of cleaning if this has to go back. So what I'm going to do is put all the empty drive bays back in, because I don't really want to try that included drive yet in case it blows up. So I'll put the empty drive bays back in, these 4. I'll plug the unit in, I won't connect it to a computer yet, just turn it on and see what happens, and then we can go from there. Okay, so here is the unit. I've put all the blank drive bays back in because that's the way it came, and I've got a power cable here, just standard IEC. This did not come with a power cable, a USB or a Firewire, but I did know that, it did state that in the listing. But now let's just plug the cable in. I'll also turn the switch on at the wall, and now I will flick the switch on the back. That does not seem right. Not sure if you can see, but the screen is just flashing on and off really quickly. So are the drive activity lights, if you can see that. It's also beeping at the same time as flashing and all that. The fan's also speeding up and slowing down randomly. I'll just turn it off. Oh dear, I don't think that is meant to happen. It looks like we might have a problem. Nothing was actually coming up on the screen. It seemed like the unit was just turning itself on and off really quickly for no reason. Everything was flashing and beeping, kind of synchronized as if it was getting power, losing power, getting power again. That's interesting. What I'm now going to do is just take the top drive bay out and put the one with the hard drive in, see if that makes any sort of difference. But I've not got hope for this drive with the sounds it's making, but let's just put that in anyway. Right, that's now in. Let's give it power again. That's made no difference. I can feel that drive is not spinning up, so that does seem to be a dead drive, which isn't surprising having listened to the sound it makes when shaking, but these buttons don't seem to be doing anything either, so I'll just turn it off again. That's interesting. I can't seem to get it to come on. Okay, so I've just swapped the power cable in case that's the problem and it can't give it power properly. I doubt that's it, but let's try it now with a different cable. And absolutely no difference. While it's on, let's just open this, see if that changes anything. Yeah, that definitely was not spinning. Let's put it back in. That fan is definitely spinning at full speed. I don't think it's meant to, but I can't get this to do anything. And look at all this dirt, it's just blown out the back. That's grim. I'm not sure what to do with this now because it's not the power cable. Maybe it's because I haven't got the USB or Firewire plugged in, but I doubt that would make a difference. I don't really feel comfortable plugging this into a computer. I don't really want to put any of my drives in it right now in case it breaks those, so I'm not sure what to do. Okay, it's now a little bit later. I've tried powering it up again with a USB cable plugged into the back but without it plugged into a computer, and that made absolutely no difference. So I think I'm going to have to message the guy on eBay who I bought it from, see if he's got anything he can say. Maybe he knows something I don't and you've got to do something special with this. I don't think so though, so I'll message him and see what he has to say, and then I'll come back maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Alright, so it is now the next day and I have been in contact with the guy on eBay that I bought this from. I've explained the problems and he seems quite surprised by it. He said that up until quite recently he was using this to host his movie collection. So I've got no reason to not believe him. I'm sure that when he sent it out it was indeed working. I just think something bad must have happened to it in shipping because the packaging and the box that it came in really wasn't the best. So I've said to him that I'll keep this for a few more days, see if there's anything I can do to it. I'm not sure if there is or not, but I might as well see, because I don't really want to have to send this back. I don't really think he wants me to send it back because then he would have this unusable thing and he would have had to give me a refund. Maybe if I can't get it working, might ask for a partial refund and then try taking it apart and seeing if there's anything that we can do then. But it's been turned off for about 12 hours, so I'm going to try turning it on again now just to see if anything else changes. I'm not too sure if leaving it off for a while will make a difference, but let's just see. Oh, it's saying something on the screen. No, it's gone. Oh well. So it looks like there, for a couple of seconds, it was actually booting up. I'm not sure if you could see. It said something like booting up Biggest FW800. So it looks like it was working, but then it stopped working after a couple of seconds. And now if I turn it on again, it probably... yeah, broken again completely. So seems to be if you leave it off for a couple of hours, it works again for a second, which is rather strange. I'm not too sure what to now do because it kind of works, but then it stops working, but the drive that's in here definitely doesn't work. So if that drive was working when he sent it out and now it's all smashed up and making rattly noises, that does lead me to believe that this was probably smashed about in shipping and that's broken something inside. So I'm not sure where to go from here. Okay, so it's now been a bit of a shift in time and also a shift into a new location. Everything's not sorted yet, but hopefully this is where I will be filming videos from now on. There will be a video in the future about where I am and setting it up once I get some new equipment, so that is something to look forward to. But for now we need to talk about this unit, the LaCie FW800 Biggest. Of course, in the last clip I couldn't get it to work. It came on for a second and then went all silly again, and it's actually been a couple of days, probably 3 or 4, since I filmed that clip. So today I'm going to plug it in again and see what happens, and if it's still being silly I am going to have to return it to the eBay seller. He seems quite nice, so I'm sure he'll have no problem with me returning it. So I've got a power cable here. I will just plug it into the back, and now I am going to turn it on. as you could see, it worked again for a few seconds and it seemed like it was booting up absolutely normally, but then it went and did the silly thing where it just flashes and seems to cut power and then give it back for a split second. That's what I think's happening. It's probably the power supply in shipping. Maybe it's got a bit loose or something like that. I could take it apart and try and find out, but I don't think the eBay seller will be too happy if he knew I'd been messing inside it, and maybe he would think that I broke it and then wanted a refund because I had destroyed it. So I don't want to be taking this thing apart just to protect myself, to make sure I get my money back. But it could be something simple like the power supply has come a bit loose, but I'm not really willing to find that out because I would like to return this if possible. So that doesn't really leave me with much choice. I guess I am going to have to return this unit. So once I've finished filming this, I guess I'll message him and say that I've tried a bit longer but still can't get it to work, so please give me a refund. There's nothing else I can really think of doing. So I think that that is it for this video, and I think unless this thing magically starts working again, which I do highly doubt, this will be the first and last time you see this unit on the channel. So this video didn't go where I wanted it to. I was planning on having this working, then buying some more used drives from CEX, making another video on that. I was going to max this out to 2 terabytes with 4 500GB drives, but it looks like I won't be doing that. So unless I can find another of these on eBay for about the same price, I don't think I will be making that video about hard drive. So I think that that is pretty much it. There's nothing I can really do with this thing. It's kind of blown dust on this new desk as well, so I'll have to clean that up a little bit later, but I think for now that is everything. So thank you for watching this video. It wasn't really interesting, but oh well, this sort of thing happens. I've not had the best of luck on eBay in the past year or so. I've had to return quite a few things for either not being as described or not working, so maybe I should stop buying things on eBay. Who knows, although I do have a few things in mind that I would like to buy to show on the channel. Who knows, but thank you for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.